You probably remember the homeless woman who walked into somebody's house in Portland, went to sleep or tried to take a nap on the 10-year-old kid's bed. The mom walks in, they have this confrontation. The confused homeless person throws an ottoman at the mom, walks out, tries to break into the next door neighbor's house. This all happening after she urinated on the other next door neighbor on the other side, their front porch. This woman is a perfect example of how the system is failing people from a mental health care standpoint. This person has some extreme mental issues going on. Right now, I understand that she's locked up in jail and she's just screaming at the jailers and, just doing crazy stuff because she needs some help. And yet, because she won't voluntarily turn herself in, she's not willing to physically do it, just voluntarily. She's not getting the care that she needs. She's not getting the mental health care that she needs. So she's just allowed to run around Portland and terrorize the residents of Portland. And by terrorize, I'm going to read to you all the events that have happened, to this woman and to the said people of Portland that she's doing this stuff to. Let's jump on in. Let's get into it. Terri Zinzer has been arrested and released multiple times in the past 2 months. 2 months. Because she needs mental health help. But she's not getting it. The strange case of Terri Zinzer, the woman who allegedly broke into a house. Well, we had video of it, allegedly, and laid down allegedly in a child's bed several weeks ago, continued in recent days with another break-in Friday and a missed court appearance on Monday. The latest incident occurred about 4:30 p.m. last Friday at an apartment on Northeast 17th Avenue near Northeast Broadway. Drew Doety told KGW his mother came home from work and found a stranger in her bed. She unlocks the door, find a person sleeping in her bedroom under her blanket, he said. At first, she thought it was my sister. Remember when the mom of the 10-year-old thought it was her husband? She's like, Justin! Oh, wait a minute, Gail. She's talking to her neighbor. That's not Justin. Gail, I need some help in here. Yeah. But then discovered that this was a random person, a random woman in her bed taking a nap. This woman is crazy. And I say that from the standpoint of she's probably been diagnosed as mentally ill. And yet, because she doesn't want to turn herself in, she doesn't want to get help because she's crazy, they can't force her. So until we get some laws on the books that allow people with mental health care issues to involuntarily get put where they need to get help, you're just going to be seeing a lot more of this. Same thing with those on drugs. You've got people that are deep into a drug addiction. They shouldn't have to voluntarily go to addiction, facility. I don't think. I think there should be laws on the books that just say, all right, you can't figure out how to get yourself well. We're going to help you. We're going to nudge you along. And by that, we mean we're going to involuntarily put you in treatment, put you in detox so that you can get that fledgling start on your new sober life. But, a lot of folks are going to say, okay, but until somebody's ready to get sober, they're not going to get sober. Yeah, but the flip side to that is you've got these people with massive issues running around willy-nilly just doing this kind of stuff. So the mom in this case, she yelled at them to get out, then realized what it was and just better to leave the apartment and call police. That's kind of my thought. I'm going to walk out and hope they don't steal any of my stuff. And if they do, they'll probably just walk right past me through the front door. Doety said his mother went back to check on things and found the woman hiding in a closet and wearing his mother's clothes. Oh. When police arrived, Zinzer had barricaded herself in the bathroom. The police broke the door down and took her away in handcuffs, he said. This woman she needs help. This is super sad. I mean, it's wildly frightening to the residents of this apartment, this home, whatever it is. But it's just this crazy ongoing saga that until we change some of the ways that we look at these systems of mental health care and addiction and, prison and jail, you're not going to see a lot of change. You're going to see a lot of this stuff just keep on going, because the bottom line is this is the only way it's going to go. I would say it was a pretty distressing situation for everybody involved, he said, and definitely not the kind of thing you expect to come home to. But in Portland, it's seeming more and more commonplace because this stuff is not being dealt with. People are not dealing with those who should be in jail, to have them in jail. They're not dealing with those with mental issues to get them the help that they need, or those with addiction issues to help them get the help that they need. They're just letting them willy-nilly run through society. And that's how you end up with this. And that's how you end up with probably 17 or 18-year-old kid. It's his mom this happened to, saying, well, but in Portland, it's more and more commonplace where you've just got strangers that break into your home and, take a nap on the 10-year-old's bed, the nap on your mom's bed, and then they get up often in your mom's bed and they go in the closet, they put on some of her clothes, and then they barricade themselves in the bathroom. Yeah, that's literally what's going on, right? I mean, it sounds like a terrible sitcom, if homeless people were allowed in sitcoms. I don't think that's ever been the case. Don't know. The statement feels especially true in Zinzer's case in light of the way the justice system has seemingly failed to get her help. The district attorney said that she needs mental health treatment, but she refuses it and has racked up numerous run-ins with the police in just the past couple of months. Okay, here's the timeline. Get this. July 21st, cited for police and theft in Gresham. DA office didn't charge her with the crime. July 21st. August 13th, cited by police for criminal trespass. DA office, no crime. She's crazy. They're not going to convict her and put her in jail. September 12th, she broke into the home of Kelsey Smith. That's the mother with the 10-year-old and the pile of laundry and the dogs barking. An act caught on home security video. Well, we know all about that. The DA's office said she would not charge her, arguing she needed mental health help rather than jail. Okay, get her some. Figure it out. Get her some. But later opted to press charges. Well, that was after kind of a big public uproar, wasn't it? She was indicted last week on those charges. September 19th, a warrant went out for her arrest after she skipped a hearing in Clackamas County to figure out if she was mentally fit to proceed with a separate theft case. Clearly, this woman, I am no psychologist, but this woman, she is not fit for anything but a straitjacket, right? That might be a little hardcore, but you get what I'm saying. September 27th, so another 8 days later, she was arrested for theft, disorderly conduct, and giving false information. The DA's office did not charge her and was released from jail. What a rotating door, right? Just, okay, yeah, we're not going to charge. How are these people roaming around? It's mind-blowing to me. On September 30th, 3 days after that, she was arrested for apparently breaking into the apartment on Northwest 17th Avenue and sleeping in Doty's mother's bed. Definitely everybody's a little shaken up about it, Doety said. Definitely violating to have somebody come into your home and find somebody in your bed. And we jokingly talk about Goldilocks and the three bears, and it's like, okay, yeah, but this is homeless person who's been in two different people's beds. Yeah, hardcore, right? You're just like, oh, yeah, okay. So this kid and his mom, so we spent the night basically sanitizing the entire apartment, and now it's a matter of calling police and insurance and hoping everything can get solved and that we can press charges and have this woman put away. That would be the end goal. Guess what? There is no room at the inn for insane people at the moment. We dumped them all out. We let them go on the streets because we love them so much. And now they're doing this kind of stuff. And said citizens of Portland got to live with it. And they're at that point where, in other places, this would be, pretty aberrant behavior. But, here in Portland, keep it weird. It's what we're doing. Zinzer was supposed to appear in court Monday, but instead is being held in an isolation cell in jail. Court documents state that she is screaming and swearing at officials and pounding on the cell door and spitting all over the windows. Not a pleasant image, is it? No, not a pleasant image. But the real tragedy here is this woman should be getting the help that she needs. She really should. It's like people that are deep in the throes of a drug addiction. I think you should be able to involuntarily, hey, you need to clean up your life before you kill yourself. But instead, we have this compassion where we let these people just live their lives up on the sidewalk and, in a tent and shoot themselves to kablooey. So compassionate. Got to get those folks some help, right? But we're at that point where we're like, no, we're not doing, no, we're not really addressing, no, we're not going there. Until we do, expect much of the same, right? Her record goes back much further than this summer, and she was charged with 16 misdemeanors in 2018, for example. But she does not appear to have gotten help. I'd say that is a clear assumption. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've got anything different going on in this situation. So who knows how many total charges she has? But, it's a hot potato situation. Oh, yeah, we don't have room here at the jail for her. You take her. They can't, involuntarily commit her. So until some judge somewhere says, this individual needs to get some help, all right, here's the deal. I need you sent to a mental institution or however they work that out. Maybe that's not even an option right now. Because I know here in King County, we've got a real shortage of both, treatment, places you can go through detox and get treatment. It doesn't appear to me, and I have no reason to believe that this individual is on drugs. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any drug charges in her background. I wasn't able to really see her skin, like skin on her face, oftentimes a telltale sign of somebody doing a lot of meth, or, you get to a certain point where you're on the fentanyl smoking it and your skin just breaks out, or you're shooting up something that, causes your skin to break out. It doesn't appear that that's her deal. So maybe she isn't on drugs, but either which way, she is doing some stuff that is not only putting her in danger, but everybody else in the community that she comes in contact with in danger. And she's stealing stuff left and right. We know this to be true. Where is this woman even staying? Is she staying literally in a tent and people just give her a wide swath? Because, with this kind of behavior, she's not going to have a lot of people. Hey, you want to bunk up next to me in my tent? I mean, and for a single woman, I don't know how old she is. Is she like I think she's 50 something years old. I think she's maybe 52 is what comes to memory. She's in her 40s or 50s, I believe. She's not in her 30s. And from that standpoint, you've got a woman of that age running around the streets of Portland willy-nilly. I mean, that's not where somebody who is not all there should be just running around. But the system fails these individuals because it can't involuntarily put them somewhere. It can't do something about them. And so no judge is going to convict her for these crimes because she's crazy. So what are you left with? You're left with what you've got going on, which is I've had 3 stories about her in the last probably 10 days, right? Where it's like, okay, how many more stories are we going to have? Now, she's holed up in isolation right now in county jail. Well, they can't hold her there forever. She's either going to have to go out for a psych evaluation or some sort of thing, or some judge is going to have to make a determination somewhere along the line. All right, we got to do something with Terri. What are we going to do? Unfortunately, the place that she probably really needs to get the help, we just dumped everybody out of those places and let them run wild. This is an example of what happens when one flew over the cuckoo's nest gets loose in Portland and goes wild, large scale. This is what you end up dealing with. And so, this is not the end of Terri Zinzer's story. No way. I mean, she could live a long time. She actually looked when I saw her getting out of the bed in the first news story, where she was getting off the bed with laundry in the 10-year-old kid's bed. She didn't look terribly old. She didn't look old and decrepit. She could do this for another 20 years, right? How many people's homes is she going to break into? How many people is she going to terrorize by putting their mom's clothes on and then barricading herself in the closet? Yeah, she could have a long, long road ahead of her. And what's the city of Portland doing? Literally just playing hot potato. You take her. You take her. All right. Got to put her in isolation. She's spitting at the glass. Now that's jail equivalent of, shouting at the trees or screaming at the clouds. Just, she's crazy. She needs to be put where people can take care of her from a psychological standpoint. Until that happens, till the system gets some balls and actually starts dealing with people head on, this is what you're going to have, much of the same. So many of these folks in the homeless encampments, I believe, are drastically in need of mental health care alongside of detox and, treatment, or a combination. Or they've got a criminal background and they belong in jail, even though we just dumped everybody out of the jails as well. So one of those three places, most of these folks need to end up. And until they do, until cities kind of get a clue and realize, okay, yeah, that's soft on crime, soft on homelessness, soft on drugs, soft on people doing crazy stuff. Till we take an approach that's more proactive and actually getting the people the help that they need, you're just going to have more and more Terri Zinzers out there running around, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't this continue to perpetuate and just basically self-prophesize, hey, this is what's going on in Portland. This is what we've got going on. Much of the same. All right, that's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up in the next one. Bye for now.